My number one quarterback available in this year's NFL draft is Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Shedeur is excellent. I think he is a phenomenal player. He is equal parts, and if you've heard me talk about him, whether it was during the games that I called this year and or even in that first mock draft, he is equal parts surgeon and artist, and that's one of the reasons why I love his game, and I think it's translatable to the National Football League. When he needs to be, he can be a surgeon, and he can sit in the pocket and just dice people up. And he anticipates as well as anybody in this draft. He's hyper accurate, so he's got that ability to just be the prototypical pocket guy, dicing you up down the field, intermediate zones, driving the football, throwing with touch, and then taking easy throws on the outside as well, or even in the middle of the field. So he's got that surgeon capability, command capability that you would want to see from your NFL starting quarterback. But he also has something more, and this is why he's my number one player, is that he's got this ability to be an artist. Okay, so Shedeur does an amazing job of creating when things aren't there, which he had to do quite a bit, by the way, because of who he played for. Remember now, this Colorado team, when he arrived with his dad and some of his other teammates, they were a 1-win team from the previous season. 1 win. And he's leaving. They're a 9-win team. They were in the race for the Big 12 championship game. They do not get to that point without Shedeur Sanders. I understand that Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy. I get it. But the entire turnaround from an on-field perspective was about Shedeur Sanders. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't get to do what Colorado was able to do the last couple of years. So now we've seen him, which is, by the way, the case of what he's going to be asked to do at the next level, which is take an organization, take a program in this case with Colorado, but an organization now in the future that is struggling, that's falling way below expectations, and raise the level of the team just because you're playing quarterback. He's already done that. So why is he my number one quarterback? He has proven exactly what he needs to do at the next level, raise the level of the entire organization, the entire team, the offense, everyone around him. He's already done that. If you look at his numbers this last season in 2024, he was outstanding. 74%, that's right up there with some of the great seasons in college football over the last decade. Bo Nix was 77, Mac Jones was 77, Joe Burrow in 19, that historically great run to a national championship, he threw for 76%. So Shedeur knows what he's doing. He's got great command of the offense and football in general. He anticipates incredibly well. My one knock on Shedeur is I think that because he believes in himself and because he can create, he holds the football a little bit too long. And that led to some of the sack numbers, which were egregious in the last couple of years at Colorado. That's my one knock. But he is more ready now to go in and be the starting quarterback than anybody else in this draft. Now, there are some talented players that I'll talk about, but he's the one that is ready right now. You can plug him into an NFL offense next week, and he can start for you. He's that smart. He's that capable. So Shedeur Sanders is my number one quarterback available in this year's draft. Surgeon, artist, he does it all. He raises the level of all the boats around him. That's exactly what he's going to be needing to do next year when he goes to the National Football League. And if you remember in the mock draft, which if you haven't seen it, get over to YouTube and check it out. I have him going number one overall with the Giants trading up to get him with that number one pick. Okay, number two. And truth be told, the whole discussion between 1 and 2 was between two guys, and there really wasn't a close third. So there is a clear top 2 in this draft, and that second guy is going to be Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward a lot. I love his game. It's different than Shedeur Sanders, but these two guys have clearly separated themselves out, and these two guys will absolutely get selected in the first 5 picks of the NFL draft. So I don't know if we'll have another first-round quarterback. I really don't. But these two guys are the ones with the potential, are the ones that are going to grab hold of kind of the scouting community and the entire NFL community and suggest that they can get taken way up there high in the first round. Ward is a bit of a gunslinger, which I like, by the way, but he'll take some chances out there. He's got a great arm. He will drift away a little bit. He will hold the ball a little bit too long at times, but man, he is the reason Miami was able to do what they were able to do. All right. That was a team that needed desperately some sort of jolt, some sort of energy from any position, but namely the quarterback position. And he absolutely provided that. I love his game. I love his attitude. He's played a ton of football. He plays his way into the finalist for a Heisman Trophy, led college football in passing touchdowns with 39, second in passing yards per game with 332. Shedeur and Cam lit it up. They lit it up. Cam was terrific at Miami. Now, was it as polished as Shedeur? Maybe not at times. I don't think he's as surgical as Shedeur Sanders from the pocket, and that's where I think he's going to need some growth. If you were to say, like, well, what is Cam to Shedeur? He's just a bit unrefined because of that gunslinger mentality. And I don't know if he's ever going to be refined because of that mentality. But he will take chances down the field because he trusts himself, which is a great thing. He can trust himself because he's got a great arm. He delivers passes that like are wow passes and plays that are wow plays. 57 career starts, highly experienced, 6'2", 223 pounds. He fits the mold, and guys are going to love him in the locker room. It was not an easy choice up here. I went with Shedeur because he's more pro-ready. I went with Cam at number 2. I love him getting selected in the first 5 picks, probably in the top 3 picks, maybe even number 1 overall if Tennessee wants to take him up there. But he's not quite as polished. That's just the name of the game. But he presents a bit better upside because of that gunslinger mentality and his strength from an arm perspective, getting the ball down the field. He really trusts that. At times, a little too much. And like I said, can fall away and drift away. And at the next level, you've got to be careful doing that because that can lead to turnovers. And that's the one area that a young quarterback cannot struggle is turning the football over. Great upside. Just needs a little bit of polish. That's all I would say. Like I said, really good player. Love him. And I would absolutely take him in the first few picks. Thank you for watching the Joel Klatt Show YouTube channel. And if you liked this clip, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. And you can stay up to date on all of my college football coverage.